lunch and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Starting now on Primetime, the Guam Power Authority is looking into possible illegal gambling among some of its employees after an anonymous letter was sent to a senator. Plus, Public Health Chief Medical Officer plans to file a letter of complaint against another doctor for his conduct. And you want to check your pantry and shelves, as there is a recall of certain Oxen Palm corned beef products.
Afternoon, good evening. I'm Peter Santos. You've heard of Friday night fights? Well, topping our news tonight, we've got the highlights of a verbal sparring between two Guam physicians. In the government's corner, Dr. Felix Cabrera, Public Health's Chief Medical Officer. In the opposite corner, Dr. Shay, an outspoken local physician who has been critical of the government's response to the pandemic. As Adriana Cotero reports, things came to a head after concerns were raised about how Public Health was handling a woman's case that was a false positive. She and her children were forced into isolation even though they were tested twice, and they came out negative for COVID-19.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, but not their own facts. That's according to Public Health's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Felix Cabrera.
And when you try and say things and try and advocate for one person using incorrect facts, you put the whole community at danger, at risk. And that's a pattern that we've seen from this one particular physician. And this has been ongoing throughout the pandemic.
That particular physician is Dr. Shay, who Dr. Cabrera says has been making jabs at him in the Department of Public Health and Social Services during the public health state of emergency, and more recently regarding a false positive COVID-19 patient case.
And we saw this especially toward the end of July and early August. And what happened back then? We had a spike. We had a spike. And I'm not saying that he caused the spike. I'm saying that you can't contribute to anything that pushes the spike up. That we as a community have to do our best to help ensure that we protect as many people as possible.
Dr. Cabrera publicly calling Shay a narcissist and making it personal.
It's personal for me because he makes these memes about me. He makes memes about my position. And this affects my family. This affects all my relatives that are here on Guam, in Saipan, in the home Mariana Islands. And frankly, I'm fed up with it. I'm absolutely fed up with it. And he needs to be called out. He keeps saying that he's been here on Guam for blah, 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 how many years. He's done all these blah, blah, blah stuff. But in the end, what has he done lately, and what does he do for the greater good, except for his self-interest? And I'm sorry, but he needs to be called out. He's a danger to society. He's a menace to society.
Clapping back to Dr. Cabrera's defamatory call-out, Dr. Shay says Thursday night Dr. Cabrera called him, yelling profanities and threats.
He started yelling at me with profanity and F this, F that, and was very unprofessional. I think the island knows me well. Listen, my track record is better than Dr. Cabrera's track record. I have not been in a malpractice suit for the last nearly 25 years, knock on wood. And why? Because I take good care of patients. Dr. Cabrera, on the other hand, just Google him. He has been involved in multiple malpractice suits at GRMC. So, if we talk about track records of who is more dangerous to society, he really needs to take a look in the mirror. But when you call me as a danger to society, you got to be very careful. That is a defamation lawsuit ready to happen. So any doctor out there who's going to accuse me of being dangerous to society, they better be prepared for defamation lawsuit because I am no danger to society. I have not killed anybody here. My record speaks for itself.
Dr. Cabrera, along with a few other physicians, are penning a letter of complaint directly to the chair of the Guam Board of Medical Examiners.
This is something that is going to go to the Guam Board of Medical Examiners, his conduct and his actions, and he will be held accountable. And this is now my mission because it threatens public safety.
Dr. Cabrera compared Dr. Shay's memes and social media complaints to former President Donald Trump's negative impact and influence on Twitter.
So I think comparing me to President Trump and Twitter, that is no comparison at all. I will criticize public health because if I see an inconsistency in policy, they're open for criticism. And as far as the memes go, I don't have time to create those memes. Those memes are created by many of my patients.
It was unclear if Dr. Cabrera plans to ask the board to revoke Dr. Shay's medical license, as he did not want to provide specific details on what will be stated in the complaint. Either way, Dr. Shay is not worried.
This is personal for him. He's going to make it personal. He's going to go and get me. He's going to make it his mission to get me. Right there and there, you know that this is not somebody that's, focusing on facts or things like that. He's making a personal attack. But I'm not here to get Dr. Cabrera. If he's out personally to get me right there and then, the Guam board should read it very clearly that this is a personal attack and it's a witch hunt.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Those that are due for their second dose of the COVID vaccine, the wait is over. Tyler Matanani has the roundup of Guam's March vaccine allotment and how public health, along with other GovGuam and federal agencies, are catching up on vaccination efforts.
A reported 6,000 to 7,000 people were forced to wait for their dose 2 vaccine over the past week. Guam National Guard PAO Mark Scott.
We understand that since we were out the past week or so, there's going to be a backlog. So rest assured to the people, if these Eventbrite links fill up, we're still going to accept walk-ins, but just at a limited rate per hour, so about 15 per hour. But feel free to come on in and get your dose 2.
According to Chief Medical Officer Dr. Felix Cabrera, yesterday 14,200 Moderna vaccines arrived in Guam and 21,060 Pfizer vaccines arrived today. A shipment of 1,300 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine are expected to arrive in the near future.
The one thing that all three of them have in common is that they are virtually 100% effective at preventing hospitalization and or death from COVID. And that's what we care about, right?
But aside from this month's 35,000 vaccine allotment being the largest Guam has received, how can we be sure that a shortage isn't going to happen again?
We're going to have to do the math together with public health and make sure, that we meter out the dosage properly and we don't run short, especially for folks who might have already made an appointment. We want to avoid that this time for sure.
The Guard will also be making extra measures to accommodate Manamco 70 years and older, ensuring they are comfortable and given front-of-the-line priority.
We have the GRTA van, we got a golf cart, we have some wheelchairs, thank you, from Guam Memorial Hospital for that. And if you're a patient over 70 or you're with someone over 70, just kindly let us know. We're out there in the parking lot, we're out there at the checkpoint where you come in. Just say, hey, I got grandma, grandpa here, they're 70, or if you are, and they'll make sure that we relay that message and just come right into the front.
In order to prevent long wait times, Scott encourages patients to avoid the longest wait periods, which are typically early in the morning before the clinic opens. The EOG Cabell Fieldhouse Vaccination Clinic will resume operations on Monday, March 8, from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Only those due for their second dose of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine will be accepted. Eligible residents are advised to schedule an appointment online at tinyurl.com/liberategU2021. Again, walk-ins will be accepted at a limited rate at 15 per hour. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
Allegations of illegal gambling are stacking up. Sabrina Salas Matanani reports on the latest agency with employees accused of gambling while on the job.
Clocking in and cashing out.
I immediately forwarded to our internal audit team.
Employees at the Guam Power Authority are the latest agency added to a growing list of GovGuam employees accused of illegal gambling online and on the job. According to GPA General Manager John Beneventi, let the chips fall where they may.
I can assure you that we take all these things very seriously here.
Beneventi confirms he received a letter from Utilities Oversight Chair Senator Clint Rigel, who received a copy of an anonymous letter received by Senator Joanne Brown. The writer of the anonymous letter alleges there is gambling going on at GPA, and the investigation should start by looking into the HR division. Quote, "This is very disgusting because these are HR staff who have access to employee records and contact information." The writer alleges the gambling group is also going on at other sections like customer service, procurement, and in the T&D division. Quote, "This behavior has got to stop in our government, and these employees need to make their priority work for the people and earn their high pay and not working to organize gambling."
Now looking at all that the allegations that were made. And again, similarly, there is a due process that we have to go through, and it all begins with the internal auditor, who will do an independent evaluation of all of this, and of course report to myself, and also the CCU audit committee chairperson, which is again involved in all of this internal audit issues that we have.
The allegations of gambling online and on duty first came to light when Senator Brown also received an anonymous tip about airport officers. GIAA General Manager John Canazza wouldn't fold on giving specifics because of an ongoing investigation. Through Civil Service Commission documents, KUAM, however, was able to confirm Airport Officer Jericho Santos was fired and had admitted to online gambling while on duty. But his case file revealed that he had built a gambling group of more than 250 other players, including other airport officers and players from GPD, GFD, Superior Court Marshals, and members of the National Guard. His case file also indicated that he became involved with the gambling app Poker Bros from a police officer. Chief of Police Steve Ignacio confirmed he had opened an administrative investigation into a single officer after being informed about an ongoing investigation.
So far, those have been the key ones that we have received so far. And, much to my surprise, I really didn't even know that this was an issue, in the government of Guam. But apparently it's kind of blown up that, it's extending, like it has tentacles that are extending to other operations in the government, and I think that's unfortunate.
As reported, allegations of illegal gambling have also extended to the Port Authority, as General Manager Rory Respicio on Thursday issued a press release confirming that several of his port police officers, quote, are allegedly involved in an illegal gambling matter that currently is the subject of an FBI investigation.
You've probably got the WhatsApp messages about the USDA recall on Oxen Palm, but have no worry, your weekend fried rice is safe. General Manager of Micronesian Brokers Hermie Queja says they've got the stamps to prove it.
It's been said that the key to an islander's heart is firmly attached to the side of a corned beef can, but recently WhatsApp chats have become flooded with the news of a recall for Oxen Palm corned beef by the USDA. As the island's exclusive distributor of the beloved brand, General Manager of Micronesian Brokers Hermie Queja wants to let his customers know that their product is all good to go.
The corned beef on island that MBI distributes is perfectly fit for consumption. There's no issues with it.
The recall of the corned beef was announced by California distributor MW Polar, who was advised by the Food Safety and Inspection Service to issue the voluntary recall. Queja says that MW Polar's recall had nothing to do with a lack of quality assurance, but more so an oversight on the stateside distributor's part.
In the case of MW Polar, they apparently brought in all this corned beef into the United States, and we're told that 297,000 pounds of corned beef did not go through the proper import process requirement. Namely, you have to get it re-inspected by USDA.
According to Queja, Micronesian Brokers gets their beef straight from the source and not from the distributor that issued the recall. So as far as their products are concerned, they're all set for the weekend fried rice.
Micronesian Brokers, we are also a distributor. And the difference is we don't buy from MW Polar. We buy directly from Heinz, Australia. And so all of our products come directly into Guam and is inspected by a local USDA inspector. If anybody has any concerns about our product being inspected, they can call the Guam USDA inspector, Teresa Connect, at 929-4964, and she will gladly respond to any queries regarding the corned beef that's on island.
Despite being the authorized distributor of Oxen Palm products, yesterday the Department of Public Health sent a press release notifying the public that Oxen Palm products at Caushulas were a part of the uninspected shipments from MW Polar, leading to around 20,000 cans being pulled off store shelves. Queja responded to the release saying, quote, those products with shipping marks ending with the letters OAK were not purchased from Micronesian Brokers, the authorized and sole distributor of Oxen Palm corned beef. MBI's shipping mark always ends with the letters GUA. The situation with Caushulas is clearly an isolated incident. Once again, MBI's Oxen Palm corned beef is safe to consume, USDA inspected, and not a part of the recall.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
Social distancing may be the new norm, but connection will always be our tradition. Through good times and tough times, we remain connected with you. Masks may be the new fashion, but protection will always be our style. You can always count on us to protect the things that matter the most. Sanitizing may be the new routine, but caring will always be our practice. We care about your loved ones and the things you value the most. And as we welcome our new normal, one thing remains certain: we will always be here for you. We're open and ready to serve you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back. Chief of Police Steve Ignacio says GPD's Highway Patrol Division has been tasked to gather additional information about the crash at Jerry Kitchen in Tamuning to determine whether the case should be reopened. As we reported, the driver of the red Jeep lost control and slammed into the restaurant in the early morning hours of Thursday, February 25th. Police immediately confirmed that alcohol was not involved and that the driver was issued a citation for, quote, imprudent driving. The chief confirmed that there was an off-duty police officer inside the Jeep at the time of the crash. Because of the community concerns, he has asked HPD to check for the surveillance video around the area and conduct additional interviews. He's also welcoming people to come forward if they have any additional information. Randy Jr. Chaco Nauta pled not guilty to attempted murder and drug charges. The defendant appeared with alternate public defender Richard Dirk for his arraignment hearing this afternoon. He and co-defendant Anthony Ignacio were arrested for last month's Agate Street shooting that placed Jesse Kitachai in the hospital. Ignacio was the getaway driver while Nauta was identified as the shooter. Nauta was charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. In addition to pleading not guilty, the defense also denied special allegations attached and waived his rights to a speedy trial. His next court hearing will be before Judge Maria Senzon. A date has yet to be set. All eyes will be on the governor's State of the Island address next week. It will be the first such speech since the onset of the pandemic almost 1 year ago. With the COVID response seeming well under control, many expect the focus to shift toward the economy. Here's Nestor Lecanto with more.
While Governor Leon Guerrero is expected to recap her administration's response to the COVID pandemic, economic recovery is what Republican Party Chairman Juan Carlos Benitez is also hoping to hear about.
Our economy is extremely fragile right now. We're surviving almost exclusively on federal funding coming to the island and the taxes that are being generated locally from those federal funds.
The Biden administration's massive $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill is now before the Senate, and Democratic congressional leaders are hoping to get it to the president's desk by March 14th before some of the key assistance programs expire. Benitez says this will likely be the last of the federal stimulus packages.
After this is done, you need to survive on your own. So what are we going to do, and how are we going to spend those funds to make sure that we have an economy to come forward to look forward to?
The Biden bill includes some $660 million in discretionary funding, which will go directly to the governor. Benitez is hoping she'll be inclined to spread the wealth.
We should do it in a transparent and open manner. Right now, you have all these people staying in the hotels for the quarantine, and there's, one vendor who's providing all the foods and the services. Well, why not try to spread that to the different restaurants?
Finally, Benitez is counting on the administration to lay out a specific plan and not gloss over with generalities.
We're going to diversify our economy. That's a great line, but we need substance to that. And if we're going to diversify it into manufacturing, what are we doing to get us to manufacture, and what are the biggest impediments for Guam presently towards that goal?
The governor is scheduled to deliver her 2021 State of the Island address on Monday, March 8 at 5:30 p.m. at the Congress Hall. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
And of course, you can catch the governor's speech live on the KUAM News Facebook page. Next week at the University of Guam will be Charter Day, the annual celebration of all the programs, community service initiatives, and contributions to society that the school makes. And perhaps no other resource has been as valuable over the last year than our healthcare practitioners, trained right here at home the right way and ready to serve our island and save lives. EOG class of 1996 alum Jason Salas has this next report.
With change being the only constant in a complicated world, this Charter Day is especially meaningful for the University of Guam's School of Health. The college has seen 3 name changes over the years to properly encapsulate the family of degree programs preparing students for careers in health science, social work, and nursing.
I think for us, what's at the heart of it, beyond the caring, of course, right? The caring and the commitment to helping people, is that you have to have critical thinking.
The school's mission is to turn out eager young minds who want to serve Guam by preparing them for the operational tempo, emotional rigors, and challenging demands of modern healthcare. Dean Dr. Margaret Hattori Uchima oversees the college's curriculum.
I think the pandemic has taught us much about the need for social workers, public health majors, people that can do exercise science and health promotion, as well as nurses.
The school prepares students with the tools, intellect, and mental toughness that they'll need right out of the gate to serve a community that, due to coronavirus, needs their talents more than ever before. And true to the community spirit of Inafa Maulik, students learn about giving back, ensuring that legacy of excellence is well preserved.
We've got these collaborations, and this is where I think Guam is so unique, in that the whole community, we know we don't have enough nurses or other healthcare providers, yet these nurses throughout the island, whatever setting they're in, they are really committed to training the next generation.
Healthcare professionals already combating coronavirus locally in fields like contact tracing, program administration, and direct patient care all came from the School of Health's recent graduating class.
Some of the health science majors actually helped with contact tracing. And of course, a lot of the nursing students, actually all of them graduated, and they were immediately hired by GMH, GRMC, and a few at Public Health.
So the 2021 Charter Day theme of transforming lives, advancing communities rings particularly true with Dr. Hattori Uchima and her team, as one of the key lessons not lost on students or faculty is the power of partnerships, a mission the School of Health attacks head-on with pride, passion, and humility in being part of Guam's allied health system.
Seeing what are the other disciplines that we can help strengthen. We've got great relationships with DOL and of course GCC. And I think there's such a need in many disciplines in health, allied health, not just nursing, that I feel that we can expand our footprint and help, provide some expertise to help stabilize the healthcare workforce.
Coming up, more primetime news. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
Welcome back. The Vice President cast a tie-breaking vote this afternoon for the Senate to officially begin consideration of the President's American Rescue Plan. Republicans, though, are vowing to slow down the process. The Senate's top Democrat says the chamber will pass the bill no matter how long it takes. Skylar Henry has more from the White House.
The Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the motion to proceed is agreed to.
As the Senate prepares to vote this week on the $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill, Republicans are pushing to delay the process.
I object.
With that objection, Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson forced a full reading of the bill on the floor.
All I'm trying to do is make this a more deliberative process. Obviously shine the light on this abusive an obscene amount of money.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says the Senate will stay in session for as long as it takes to get to a vote.
The time is now to move forward with big, bold, strong relief.
With weekly unemployment claims ticking up slightly last week, the Senate relief proposal is expected to maintain the House-passed $400 weekly enhanced unemployment benefits through August, though some Republicans are calling for the amount to remain at the current $300 per week. President Biden has continued his public push to get the bill passed, and he says success on the American Rescue Plan could build momentum on his other legislative priorities.
We have a number of meetings with Republicans on the coronavirus bill.
The president and top health officials have slammed the loosening of COVID restrictions in Mississippi and Texas this week, saying now is not the time to let up. Thursday, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey announced she will maintain her state's mask requirement for only one more month. Skylar Henry reporting for KUAM News.
Coming up, we've got your birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. You're watching KUAM.
We get it. Living to the fullest is tough during COVID-19. You don't need to do it alone, and everyone needs a hand right now. We are here. Feeling overwhelmed? Call 647-8833 and let's talk. Mangagihem is a project of Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
The work week is now over, but the celebration for your birthday continues if it's your birthday today. So, happy birthday on March the 5th to Jerika Santos. Happy birthday number 20 coming from Uncle Jesse Chargaloff and your brothers Marvin, Luke, and Jake. Adrian Hernandez, happy birthdays to our sweet, loving, and beautiful one, Adrian. We love you, and all your family and friends say stay blessed. Liam Larry, happy birthday to my baby who turns 3 today from Mama, Uncle Bailey, Nunus, Nina's, your brothers Jane and Bray Bray, and they say Mum loves and misses you so much. And happy birthday number 13 to the amazing and beautiful Chloe Dior. Lots of love from Mom, Dad, your siblings, and all the family. And a couple belated birthday wishes going out tonight. First to Mark Jesse Boleto. Happy birthday to my oldest son. Never forget that we, your family and friends, love you. Life is filled with hardship, but God will make the way. This shout out is coming from Mom and all of your siblings. Great shout out, guys. And Isaiah Andre, who's born on the 2nd. Happy belated 10th birthday to our grandson. Coming from his mom and dad, Nima and Papa, Nana, Uncle Alex and Uncle Cole, and siblings, Sophia, Ezekiel, and new baby sister, Imani. Your whole family loves you, so be patient in these tough times because your party is coming soon. lots of love. Great shout outs, everybody. Great job, family and friends. Support people whose birthday is today. We hope you have a fantastic island weekend, and happy birthday once again.
Remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and your birth date. And it's that time of the week where we announce the winner of a yummy ice cream cake from Cold Stone Creamery.
Congratulations and happy extended birthday to Jeanette Crisostomo, who was born on February 28th. She is the winner of this week's Cold Stone Creamery birthday cake. Jeanette, happy extended birthday once again, and we'll reach out to you and let you know how you and your family can safely pick up your prize. Congratulations once again from Cold Stone Creamery and all of us at KUAM.
That's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks for watching. Good night and be safe.